Podcast with Jensen Maydew, Tony Caranco, and your host, Wes Underwood.
Into the Sports Timeout Podcast brought to you by Jefferson's. Chiefs win, so do you. 50-cent wings after the Chiefs win. And brought to you by Robert's Integrative Dentistry in Joplin. Go check out Robert's Integrative Dentistry. If you're in the need for a brighter, straighter smile, get your appointment today at 417-622-0404. Wes Underwood, along with Tony and Jensen. Welcome back. You guys ready to get this going?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hey, and by the way, even though I don't like the Chiefs, I can appreciate the Jefferson's does the 50-cent wings thing.
It's the only time you're a Chiefs fan.
I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I want to go eat there. Might as well.
I mean, it is worth it, and it's good. They're good too, so that helps a lot.
Right.
But yeah. Before we get started, go ahead and buckle in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, got another good show once again for y'all. So we'll start in the NCAA Top 25, brought to you by Ghetto Tacos. 10% off your orders today on Fridays. And yeah, again, Mizzou's in there, this time at number 11 after a huge win over Tennessee. Remember, top 12 teams are in this year, and Mizzou is 2 games away from this feat for the first time in the playoff era. If they can win out, they're going to move up the list. And I think that they probably finish out. If they win out, they probably finish out within the top 8, I would say, probably in there. But Georgia, number 1, Michigan, number 2, Ohio State, number 3, Florida State University, number 4, Washington, number 5, Oregon, 6. Okay. I mean, they are undefeated. Texas, 7, Bama, 8, Louisville, 9, Oregon State, 10, Mizzou at 11, Penn State at 12. I mean, do we like it? Do we think OU, Ole Miss, Iowa, who leads the Big Ten West, I mean, should be in at 8-2, but they're not. But what are your all's thoughts?
Well, the Big Ten just sucks. There's a reason why they're not in there, because they're all pretty trash in general.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'd say right now obviously the further the season goes, the more accurate it becomes.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree with it. Maybe Louisville should be out of it, but like maybe 13, 14.
Okay.
Besides that, I think it's cool.
Hey, they're gonna prove their spot this week, okay, Tony? So when we talk, what?
First round loss.
We'll see. Let's make a bet on it.
Okay, let's do it. $20 if they lose. They first have to make it to the playoffs. If they make it to the playoffs, and then yes, we can put a bet on it.
All right, they'll make it to the playoffs, so $20 it is.
No, well, okay, $20.
First game, we'll do $20. First game of the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
But yeah, to answer your question, Wes, I feel like they're all fine. Like I'm not surprised or taken aback by any of the spots and how they moved. So
all I gotta say is MIZ, baby, over Tennessee. So yeah. Next up, we talk NFL, and I mean, wow. Deshaun Watson needs shoulder surgery and will now be out the rest of the season. This will be 2 years in a row that he hasn't completed a full season. And I mean, he said it's tough. He's very hurt about it. Suffered the injury versus the Ravens last week, and also said, he played through the pain. But I mean, that being said, they turned to the rookie Dorian Thompson-Robinson out of UCLA, and last quarterback out of UCLA was good. Anybody?
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah. No, Troy Aikman. And if you're worried about Dorian's 0-3 record, by the way, and his 3 interceptions so far, Troy, a three-time Super Bowl champion, he went 0-11 in 1989 for Dallas and had 9 touchdowns with 18 interceptions. So that said, can the
Good for him.
third place, I know, right? Seriously, I was surprised by that stat. But can the third place in the AFC North Browns still come out on top in a currently tight race with Baltimore at 7-3, Pittsburgh at 6-3, and Cincy at 5-4?
I mean, that's a pretty tough division, honestly. Probably not. You know, they had that whole offense structured around Deshaun Watson.
It's true. It's gonna be tough.
They were, yeah, they were probably hoping that he would just not catch another felony, not an injury, and he'd be fine. But
yeah,
besides that, now that he's out for the rest of the season, I don't know. Maybe they'll do fine. Somebody who doesn't break the law, egregiously, and maybe represents the team a little bit better. But it's the Browns. What can you expect?
Hot take, very opinionated. Yeah, and didn't tell me if I'm wrong, but didn't Joe Burrow hurt his wrist this week?
Well, he's playing tonight, or last night, so maybe, I don't know.
I saw like a
something
video
like that, yeah, but I don't remember what injury it was.
Yeah, because I was just gonna say, like, if he, isn't 100%, then the Browns obviously have a better chance. So,
Right.
not that they're doing great with him, anyways. I guess.
Right. I mean, are the Browns? If you're not the Browns. If you're the Bengals right now, do you want your money back, or what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Who day?
Is it too early to say?
Who day? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I do feel like it's too early to say, but go ahead.
Who? Go ahead. Who? Tony?
You.
No, I feel like it's too early to even give an opinion on it, because I feel like, I mean, we've seen them play so well in the past years, so that I don't really think that I have, not that I want them to win, but I haven't lost faith in them to be a contender. So I feel like Joe Burrow will, I mean, he's great. I'm gonna say it. So I think that he'll be able to at least pull them up a little more than they are right now.
It's got to make it back to Burrowhead. Stay where they're at right now, and they'll be that team that plays the Chiefs in the first round. So, hey.
First round loss for the Chiefs.
Could. I mean, Joe Burrow's the only one that's gotten it done out of all the teams. So, I don't know. Weird. Next in the NFL, we talk the Bills, and they fired their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, after failed attempts in the playoffs versus the Chiefs and other teams in the season. I mean, head coach Sean McDermott this season said has been rough in the play calling department, and after Monday's loss to the Broncos, it's the team's worst winning season since 2018 when they went 6-10. But that being said, do we think this is the issue, or is the team still going to struggle to find the identity after that?
I mean, there's the issue. I mean, it's really hard to say if the issue was the offensive coordinator. They do need to do something to shake it up. Ultimately, they want to turn around and kind of go in the direction they were going last season.
Sure.
It's hard to say really what's going on there. I mean, they have all the talent in the world. You would think that they would, be pretty decent. So maybe it is just a play calling issue, and they get paid a lot more money than I do, and maybe they know what they're doing, but it's hard for me to say and really give a strong opinion on it. But ultimately, I do think they need to do something different.
Yeah.
I think they'll struggle the rest of the year, whether they have the offensive coordinator or not, to be honest.
Why?
And just because I think, I feel very passionately about chemistry and I think it can be hard on a team that is already like mad at each other, or frustrated
Yeah.
with each other, and then you like take out a coach and have someone new step up, and you have like, the guys' egos
What if they
and
like the new coach?
mm,
Maybe he
I
took
don't
them
know.
out for barbecue.
Good.
I don't know.
Gotta
I
get-
guess that is an option. But do you think that they'll shake it up? Like the new coach will shake it up so much that it'll hurt them, whether they like the coach or not?
It's
I mean,
always a possibility.
they could just get a little bit more creative, and they could probably, sneak in a few extra yards per game, and and be fine. I mean, it's they don't really have to change the whole playbook. The playbook's going to stay relatively the same, especially at this point in the season. It's just maybe making a few tweaks here and there, and which will be good for the Bills, or at least for the first game or two, for them to, before the teams can kind of catch up. Maybe it'll throw off a team.
They've shaken it up so far as much as Aaron Rodgers tried to be sneaky and shook up his tequila on the sideline, which everybody thought was something else. But hey,
Or Taylor Swift shaking it up.
she shook it off, man. Get it
Oh,
right.
yeah, check it out, yeah.
No, but yeah.
Her music's trash. I don't really listen to it, but
All right. Lastly, in the
I'm just saying,
NFL, we'll go ahead and
Chiefs
talk
fan.
that. We'll go ahead and talk that. Kelce Bowl 2.0. Yep, Monday night next week. Chiefs rematch the Eagles in prime time at Arrowhead. First game since Germany for the Chiefs. And when asked, Jason Kelce said he's not motivated by the Super Bowl loss, but would like to win against his brother Travis for once. I mean, look, this is going to be an interesting night. Kelce's family will meet Taylor's family for the first time. No one's going to talk about the game. They're all going to go to the booth and just talk about that. The brothers just released a Christmas song together. And I mean, if the Taylor thing doesn't go well, it's probably, I don't know. If he were to have an injury in football, he's got a pretty good voice. Pretty good voice. Both of them do. And I mean, they've had lessons and stuff. So I hope they have good voices. But anyway, point aside, I was shocked. But yeah, the Eagles and Jason Kelce have a second Christmas album being released as well. So on top of that, just all this distraction. I don't even know how they got what they got out of the press conference with Jason, but yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts here? Does Jason beat the Chiefs in Kansas City? Does he beat that drum at Arrowhead? Does Taylor Swift make it out of there with Kelce again? Everybody just frolics on out and goes la la la.
The two most toxic fan bases are going to be in the same stadium. So that's going to be
The
interesting.
Raiders aren't there.
It's definitely the Chiefs and the Eagles.
I was thinking Bills.
No, if no, there's definitely the most toxic right there. And I like the Eagles. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know what the point was, or like the question was necessarily, but yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I'll say that, and hopefully they have fun.
I mean, there's
Always.
going to be two Swifts there, and there's going to be two Kelces, and
Seems really rigged.
yeah. Say that again.
It seems really rigged.
And Jensen, sorry.
What?
You were saying something?
I don't know if I was saying anything, but I will say something. I think that Jason handled that well, because I don't think that you can compare it to the Super Bowl. Like, I feel like it's just, playing his brother. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't think like the motivation behind it should be because of the Super Bowl. But I think the Chiefs will pull it out. I mean, they're back at home. I feel passionately about home games, and Arrowhead is like the greatest place on earth. So I think that the Chiefs will pull it out.
I feel like, I like Arrowhead, but I feel like the beach is better.
Okay, fair.
Next, we head to the NBA and we talk Draymond. He gets suspended 5 games without pay for an incident versus the Timberwolves. And by the NBA, this happens as he grabbed Rudy Gobert around the neck. And if you saw the video, this is the only time I'm going to defend Green because I'm not a huge fan of him either. But the way I saw it, I mean, the guy was going in to save his teammate who had his jersey pulled because Clay, obviously was kind of shoving and moving, but that's basketball. But then he comes back over and just pulls him down, and then Draymond immediately runs over there. I mean, like we talked about beforehand, I mean, I feel like Draymond probably targeted that a little bit and was waiting for it to happen because, I mean, they've always had stuff like this just kind of bicker back and forth. But yeah, I don't know. Clay, I feel like wasn't innocent either, obviously. I feel like he should have gotten more than just an ejection. McDaniel and Gobert, I mean, they were slapped on the wrist with fines again and an ejection. But I feel like they all should have at least gotten a few game suspensions. Overall, for the incident, I do agree that Draymond should have gotten what he got. But is it fair that the other players involved got the shorter stick? And because they all were involved in the brawl. So
Well,
I think it's fair. I feel like we've always had always,
okay.
always, always there's issues with Draymond Green, like with like his behavior, like everything. So I think that in
True.
order for the NBA to kind of like really check him, like that needed to happen for him because I feel like it was like totally uncalled for. Like I feel like it was like almost ending and then like Draymond just kind of like swooped in and like gave a headlock. Like it was like crazy. Like I don't know. I think the whole thing was dumb too because the score was like literally 0-0. Like the game had
Rigged.
just started.
Rigged. They
Yeah,
wanted him out of there.
you never know. Like who knows what happens behind the scenes. But yeah, I think him having the 5 games is fair and the other guys having just like a fine is fair. Um
Okay. Okay.
Just because I feel like you never even, I mean, I don't think you hear like Clay's name in negative um conversations like this very often. You know what I mean? But you always hear Green. Always, always, always.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
personally, I think that the NBA needs to make an example out of him. I don't like Draymond. I mean, this is not the first time he's done some sort of cowardly act. Um, I think the NBA needs to make an example of him and suspend him for the rest of the season. I mean, that's the only way he's going to learn. And otherwise, he's going to do it. He'll come back. He's dirty. He just does it all the time. Like I just, I know nobody really watches the NBA in general, but it makes it harder to watch whenever you see somebody, doing that. It just bothers me. It just bothers me
80s,
seeing.
late 70s, 80s, and then the 90s were pretty brutal.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Like, and that's
I
how the
know
game
it's
was played.
different decades, but I mean, if he would have done that back then, I mean, we all saw Dennis Rodman do it. Larry Bird got chippy. Even MJ got chippy at points. They all threw elbows. Headlocks were definitely in the playoffs because there were a lot of guys who got little slaps on the wrists and not suspended without pay. Again, yes, I get it. Different era. But, I mean, going in to defend his teammate or not, which I thought so, but, I mean, even if Michael Jordan were to do that back in the day, they were a pretty tough team. I mean, they had the whole documentary series, and I mean, one guy threw down for another guy. They liked each other and the camaraderie that came with it. And it's like they almost feed off of it. And I feel like Draymond Green is like that. He's old school and he just feeds off that stuff. I mean,
Right, but
it
those aren't the
helps him.
rules, Brett.
Huh?
Those aren't the rules. The rules
No,
are
not since LeBron got in there.
right. So if that's Well, and with Steph Curry, being the golden child now, it makes it a little bit, it makes it even more difficult for players like Draymond.
That's true.
So either Draymond needs to follow the rules or he shouldn't play. I mean, that's like I would enjoy more fighting, yes. But if the rules say no fighting and yet he's always fighting and the NBA does nothing about it, either they open up the floodgates and let these guys fight or actually do something about it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking for you, Tony, it's like black and white and there's no gray area.
Right, that's the rule.
Yeah, I mean, he wants baseball to be full out brawls too if somebody gets hit by the pitch. So
He's just talking like a football meathead.
your words, not mine.
There's
Lastly,
nothing I
we
can say to that.
lastly we talk a new one in Missouri sports, and for high school basketball, Misha going into effect this year. And well, I mean, there's going to be no more and one free throws. Okay. Bonus free throws will always be 2 shots now. And then bonus free throws will begin at 5 team fouls overall. Then team fouls will now reset after each quarter, but the scoreboard will only show a max of 5 per quarter. Personally, I don't really get that, getting rid of that and why they would. I mean, the and one, sure, but I don't know. Having more than 5 fouls show on the board, that's going to confuse refs. That's going to hurt them a little bit, I think, and it's going to take some time to get used to. There's going to be a lot of blowing the whistle and being like, oh, wait, never mind. It's up there. We're good. Can't add it to the board. But I don't know. It's weird. It resets each quarter, but I don't know. It's going to confuse fans too. And they came out with a statement that said, please be generous to the referees and the coaches and the score table during this time. And I'm like, well, I feel like you should have given them more notice than, what is it, a week before the season starts now, pretty much. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of unfair to coaches because I think that just got amended last week is what I heard. So that's interesting. But what are your all's thoughts here? Jensen, we'll start you here and then we'll go Tony. But
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you
Mine's
think
off
on
topic.
that? Do you think that's a weird rule or do you think it's okay?
Yeah, I feel like they're just being extra for no reason. And if they're actually gonna like really change rules, like in my opinion, I feel like high school should have shot clocks. So if you're gonna go through all of this and then you're still not going to add a shot clock, like I don't care. Like I don't know. I don't think it'll be like it'll just be an adjustment. I don't think it'll be like anything crazy. I think it'll take them like 2 weeks or so and then it'll be fine.
It'll be weird though.
Yeah, yeah.
Tony?
Yeah, I'll agree with Jensen. It just sounds like extra steps, unnecessary steps. I'm sure they have a reason for it. And it's probably just so that they can get paid and say that, oh, yeah, we did something for the sport of basketball in Missouri.
Maybe.
Talking about other stupid stuff that Misha has done. Did you guys watch the highlight or low light, you could say, of the Rockhurst Lee Summit game?
I did not actually. I heard about it,
So-
but I have not seen it.
So basically, they threw a pass into the end zone. The guy goes and catches it. The ball goes right through his hands, bounces off the end zone, and it actually hops back into his hands. And it's clear as day on the video.
Yeah.
And they called that a touchdown, and that's Rockhurst won. So
Rockhurst pays that money, man. Private school money.
right, and I don't think they did anything about it.
Not that I've heard of. I think, and there'd be probably more of an uproar if it did, but they're leaving it alone, and it's been pretty mum. I saw the highlights, and then that was it. Like, I read about it, not saw it, but I was like, dang, that's a weird way for a game to end.
Right.
And they had it on video, so that's even more weird.
Right.
So
Misha hates being told that they're wrong, though. And
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, who likes being told that they're wrong?
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
valid.
Shut up.
On that note, we now head into the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. They are open at 1515 West 10th Street. And go get a $50 gift card this holiday season and treat yourself, treat a friend, get $10 free. And yeah, whoever you want, treat them, treat you, treat someone else. Go in and get some amazing food either way. But no MSSU basketball action this weekend. They got a lot going on next week, but I did get a chance to catch up with Webb City football head coach Ryan McFarland and Mack County's head football coach Kellen Hoover. Check it out. And we bring in first-year Cardinals head coach Mr. Ryan McFarland. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How you doing?
Man, I'm ready for Friday Night Lights. Y'all got me pretty hyped up last week. I mean, that was a heck of a performance. So kudos on that.
Yeah, we both district games at home. We've played really well on both, and the intensity's been good, and we feel really good about where we're at right now. So we're excited for Friday.
Awesome. And so I'd like to go ahead and take it back to week 1 a little bit. Y'all face Nixa. Everyone not sure of where the season will go. Then y'all lose in a close one after that. But what was the message to the team after that game? What kind of got them sparked there?
All summer, we have a young coaching staff, and we've lost some coaches that we've had on staff for a long time. And, actually we've got 14 coaches, and our average age was 28 years old when the season started. So,
wow.
And I'm 41 now, but I was 40 when the season started. And so I'm the old guy, but throughout the summer, we've just really preached to our kids that, you're going to come in, we're going to work hard, we're going to do things right, we're going to have some fun. We've tried to build into a little more fun into practices and stuff, and our kids have just really responded really well. And I remember going into the first game of the season, you weren't sure what to expect. You're playing a Nixa team who we knew was supposed to be really, really good, and they've proven they are. And, we told our kids to go out and play hard, and we were, after the game, Coach David and Coach Derby and I stood on the field, and we were like amazed by how hard our kids played. And that's probably what we took away. I mean, you want to win every game. You don't want to lose your first game of the year. It was my first game as a head coach, in this position, and you really want to win. But we were very, very happy with the way our kids played in that game, and that just gave us hope moving forward that, hey, if we continue to do things right, the good things are going to happen.
Mention all that. You go 5-0 after that. Big wins versus Willard, Joplin, Republic, just in that mix there of the 5-game stretch. And then the game against Carthage happens. What was the mindset there? Did it kind of set you guys back a little bit, or were you just like, we're okay?
Yeah. So 2 things. I think one, it's always tough when you play, I'm going to use Carthage because it's been Carthage in us for a while, but you're going to play them again. So, you want to do everything you can to give your kids a chance to win, but at the same time, it's like, okay, what do we want to do? What do we not want to do? Is there anything we want to, like offensively for us, is there anything we want to save that we don't want to show them now that we can use later in the year? And, and that might've been a mistake on my part, on the offense, but just going through the game and pregame to the game, and like, we never had a lot of energy that game. Like, and even pregame, after we go back to the locker room, I'm talking to our coaches, and I'm like, man, we just didn't have it. And we'd been a very energetic, fun team, and we just didn't have that, mindset going into that game. And we kind of played that way all night to where, we weren't real physical. Most games we've been really physical, made some mistakes, and just things didn't go our way. But what I told our players afterward was that was probably our worst game of the year, and Carthage played really well, and we still had a chance to beat them.
Yeah.
And so that probably gave us hope moving forward, was just, we had a chance to beat them. We played our worst game. If we play better, definitely got a shot to beat them.
And then we go to now 4-game win streak. Both games in districts have come down to running clocks. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And I don't know much about the team that you guys played from Belton, but did you expect that type of a game from Carthage in the playoffs? I mean, did that catch you off guard too?
To have that type of game, yes, but we felt going in, we got a bye week 3 weeks ago, and really got back to some fundamentals, and we had got some stuff fixed where we felt pretty good kind of our bye week, and played really well against Belton. And we knew Carthage was going to be tough, but we felt really good going in the game, that if we played well, that we could win, not 42-7, but I thought if we played our best game, we could win 14, maybe score late, win by 21. But I really thought we had a chance to beat them by multiple scores, but being up 27-0 at halftime wasn't in my wildest dreams.
And then this one's just kind of off the cuff here. Can you kind of explain that little dance in that game? What was going on there?
The little dance.
I think towards the end, after you guys had gone up, and then I think everybody was having fun, but then you guys were kind
on
of
the
just doing the
sideline.
sway.
Yeah, so our defense started that early in the season. And
Okay.
there's a song that goes along with it. And so they finally got the guys in the press box to play it for them. But so our defense, anytime they do, we scrimmage, not so much now, but early in the season, we scrimmage a lot. And every time they make a big play, they do that dance on the sideline.
Wow.
And
That's
that
fun.
just goes back to our coaches kind of letting them have a little bit of fun. And it's one of those where it's like, hey, if you guys, if you can turn it on and off, and if you can play hard in practice when you need to, then we'll let you guys have a little bit of fun, just so it's not such a grind all the time. But it's
Yeah.
kind of become their thing they do that gets them all fired up. And when things are going well, it's kind of contagious, and our offense is joined in now. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what it is, but I don't even know what the song's called, but it's something they do. And, it's, to my knowledge, there's no profanity or anything in it. So if it gets them excited, then we'll go with it.
And then next up, you get that first district title. Some people were saying the Minty is taking the reins when Coach Rod handed over that trophy. What was that moment like for you? And did Coach Rod give you any words of encouragement after that?
Him and I had talked the day of the game, and he's done a great job this year, just making sure he tries to make sure I don't put too much pressure on myself. And that's where losing that first game, you always want to get that first win just to try to get things going. And we knew coming into the season, when you go Nixa, Carl Junction, Republic, Joplin this year, it was like the big fear is maybe you're sitting here at 1-3, and now people in towns second guessing, and was very proud of our kids that they took care of business for me, so we didn't have to experience that, and we could be 3-1 after those 4 games. But no, he's been very supportive to me, and it's nice that he's still at the school because we talk daily, and if I have questions, I can run things by him, and he's always checking in. But he's giving me my space. He doesn't come by practice and stuff a lot, and he's kind of let us kind of take over and do our own thing. But it's nice to know that he's always there. But it was to win a district championship special. I think people, especially in Webb City, forget how hard it is to win football games and win district championships.
Yep.
And it's not something that's easy to do. And our conference is extremely tough, and to win football games on Friday nights tough, and to win a district championship is tough. And we've been so fortunate that we take a lot of that for granted. But Friday night, I was proud of, our coaching staff. I was proud of our players, happy for our seniors. And, anytime you play an elimination game and you've got good kids, you want to try to do whatever you can to win, to keep them around for another week.
Yep, absolutely. All right, now we talk game Friday night. Y'all get a pretty good team, Graham Valley, usually a team that prides in the defense, but can also get a drive going on offense. Also a very well-versed team in the playoffs as of late. 5 district championships in a row, 1 in Class 4, 4 in Class 5. How do you prepare for this team going into Friday night?
Yeah, first, this team we're not familiar with at all. We haven't played them. I don't really know their coaching staff and stuff that well, but they've got, they're a team that has a running back he's averaging over 10 yards a carry. He's got over 2,400 yards on the season on 230 some carries. And he's the guy that really makes him go. And he's out, when you're averaging 200 plus yards a game for a season, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. They've got a quarterback that he's thrown for 1,700 and some yards, 60% completion percentage. He's got 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So he doesn't make a lot of bad decisions. And so they're able to keep you off balance a little bit. So it's not, you don't only have to stop the running back, you have to stop the passing game too. And, we're definitely going to start with the running back, and we want to try to contain him and get him stopped. And then defensively, I would say athletically, they're just as athletic as maybe a Nixa or a Republic defense. Yeah. They're not overly big on defense. They play with a lot of athletes out there, and they just play really fast, really aggressive. And it's something that, we haven't seen a lot of, maybe what style of defense they want to play. The good thing for us is they haven't seen an offense the style that we play as well. And so I think it's going to be some adjustments for them going into Friday night.
Absolutely. All right. Last thing here. What words do you have for fans for this season? And is there anything special you'd like to see from them tonight?
Words for the fans. Well, I think it's, me personally is just the appreciation that we have such a great community support. And when you get like a school like Belton that comes down here that's never played down here before, and they just look around at the people that's here at 5 o'clock already for the game, and people that show up and the kids that line the hill, and and they got to experience that, and just for them to see that. So I mean, very grateful for the community we have. I think sometimes we take winning for granted, we take our community support for granted as well at times. So very appreciative for that. I've got four young daughters. 3 of them are in the school district. I got a junior daughter, a 5th grade daughter, a 3rd grade daughter, and a 3-year-old at home. And people are always saying good things about the football program to me, to them, and that makes them, they come home and they're excited and they're happy, and so I appreciate that as well.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate the time, and good luck tonight, and hope everything goes well.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And we bring in McDonald County head football coach, Mr. Hoover. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
And I'm ready for Friday night, and I can imagine you guys are too.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
And so we'll get right to it. Y'all go 5-4 regular season. What did it mean to you to end the season on a winning note and head into districts with that win?
Yeah, it was really important to win week 9. You definitely want to go into districts with a win, with a little momentum, going in on a high note. And, we kind of had an idea where we were going to fall district wise, but you definitely want some momentum as you go into that tournament, into postseason play. And so, it definitely kind of propelled us into week 10.
Indeed. And so we'll go ahead and bring that district's run up thus far. Not only do you win your first district title as a coach, but you win it for the first time in school history. Can you kind of describe the emotions and the significance of the achievement for you and the team?
I still don't know that I've totally wrapped my head around it, just because there's been so much going on this week. But, I can tell you that the emotions after the game were pretty incredible. You watch our seniors go out and get the plaque that says district champions on it and come running back to their teammates with such joy. Like, it was almost like youth football. You're just loving playing the game at that point. And, because it is a great game, and our kids, just the joy on their faces, I'll never forget that moment. And I'm just glad I was there and could be a part of it. And, just the significance to our program. It was such an important win because we've been fighting and clawing, and we've been okay in the postseason. We made a district championship 2 years ago, but to finally kind of break through that this season, it was just really special. It was special for our kids, for all the, it was really cool to see a lot of those kids who have been a part of our program the last few years. They were there to support, and I made sure that they know, talk to them after the game, just like how much they had to do with getting us here, because my first year here, we went 5-5, and those guys, they propelled us forward to this. And then, the other teams from then to now, they've just moved us towards this moment. And, I hope they understand how much they had to do with that. I had a lot of texts from them and the guys that were there. I hope they understand what they've meant to our program, to our culture, to get us to that point. It's as much theirs as it is this season's team.
Yeah. And speaking of that, do you think there were any other key factors that kind of contributed to the team's success in winning the district title? And was there any strategy or changes that played a crucial role?
As far as strategy goes, we have been who we are for, the whole season. And that is a team that wants to run the football physically. And if we're able to do that with success and able to establish the run effectively, we're going to have success on Friday. Yeah, that is who we are. And our kids, they like that. our linemen love being the engine that makes us go. Our backs, we tried to give our explosive player of the week award to a back a couple weeks ago. And he was like, no, this is for the linemen. And so they appreciate each other. They understand, our backfield understands how important our linemen are to what we're doing. And so, that's been our strategy all year, but something's clicked just as we've gotten into postseason play. I think our coaching staff has done a really good job just kind of paring everything down and making, just making it about our bread and butter. And that's what we're rolling with a few little tweaks off of everything. And so the coaches have done a great job just putting game plans together, but our kids have executed so well. And in addition to that, like, I just feel like our kids have really developed together. They've gotten closer together just through this season run. You can sense it at practice. There's a different energy. You can sense it on the sidelines. There's a different energy. Pre-game, walking to the field from the locker room, just in everything we're doing, there's a totally different energy about it right now, and a sense of urgency that maybe wasn't there all season. And they're at this time they're believing in themselves and believing in each other and playing for each other. And when you've got that, that's when you've got a good team, and that's why we are where we are. And I'm proud of them, and I hope we can go get another one on Saturday.
And you speak of good team, but every team kind of has that pressure aspect given to them too at some points. But how do you address the pressure and the expectations that come with being just a couple games away from that state title? And how do you keep the players composed and motivated in that moment?
We've just kind of told our kids every week, we've got one goal, and that is to practice on Monday, right? And they've kind of run with that. Like, even after winning a district championship game, I heard multiple times, we get to practice on Monday. And so making it about that, you can kind of see, yes, they enjoyed it, yes, they celebrated that win, and deservedly so. But then, like, still in their minds, they were still thinking, okay, we've got more work to do. And with as many seniors as we have contributing, I think we have 7 starting offensively and 6 defensively. With that many seniors that are involved is so deeply in every play, there's naturally a sense of urgency, because for the last month, basically, we've been potentially on our last week, and this week's no different. And so that leads to an added sense of urgency at practice, just more energy at practice, because they don't want to be done either. And so we've had a really good month of practice, and this week's been no different. And I've been proud of them for that, because you can just you saw something change just as we got into postseason play, and they're like, we're not ready to be done. And at that point, it becomes a reality. Like, we're a loss away from potentially not playing football anymore. Some of them, not everybody's going to go play football at the next level. And so some of their football careers are hanging in the balance every single week. And so if that doesn't add a sense of urgency to everything you do, then I don't know what will.
Last one here for you. What words do you have for the fans for the rest of this season that are coming out to this game on Friday? And is there anything special you'd like to see from them?
No, I mean, we have the best atmosphere, in my opinion. And, we've been all over the Big 8, and even where I was before, still in the Big 8. And so I've been to all the stadiums and experienced all of that. We have the best game day atmosphere by far of any of them. And that's our fans, our student body, our administration, our community. And there's none better. And I just hope they come out and are loud and crazy. They support us so well all the time. And whether it's they've played in our program, their kids have played in our program, they've fed our kids, they've donated to our program in some way. Our community's fingerprints are all over our program. And it's hard to say thank you enough, because I don't know that I can accurately convey how important the community is to everything that we do. And that's why our community was such a big part of the district championship win. There were so many of them that made the trip to Bolivar to support us, and we're out there on the field with us afterwards, just celebrating that win, because they're a part of it too. And I hope they show up, a ton of them on Saturday, and they really let our boys know how much they want them to win, and I hope our boys play well, and hopefully let the community know how much we appreciate them being there.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your week, and good luck, and have a safe game. I mean, that's what we hope for everybody, for sure, because we want them all to have that time. I mean, you mentioned those seniors there, a lot of them, and if one of them were to get hurt, I mean, I feel like that would kind of be a blow. So,
Yeah,
but
most definitely.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate
Have
you
fun.
having me on.
Yep, no problem. Take care.
You too.
Out of them, good luck to them tonight. And now we head into the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria. Not feeling like cooking this weekend? Go grab some pizza by the slice over there Wednesday through Saturday. And yeah, time for picks. 9-2 Webb City, getting the district championship last week in a rematch versus Carthage. They blow them out 42-7. They take on Graham Valley here, Webb City, at Webb City this week, and a team that's 10-1. They have won Class 4 district, or Class 4 one time. They've won Class 5 4 times and have won 5 straight district titles. Yeah, who you got here?
I'm gonna go with Webb City. I
Okay.
think Webb City's been playing too good these last few weeks, and I think they got good momentum going. They have a great defense. I would argue and say and agree with what other people have said, that it's probably one of the better teams that since probably at least 5-6 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going Webb.
I'll go Webb here. 3 for Webb. Seneca has won 3 straight district championships. They look to continue the undefeated track, and they're gonna be 12-0 after hosting Ava this weekend. I gave my pick right there, but who you guys got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seneca.
Yeah, same.
And then 8-4, the dark horse, McDonald County, hosting 8-4 Jeff City Jays. Who you got?
That one's gonna be a little bit tougher game, but with McDonald County being at home, I'm gonna go with McDonald County.
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I love a home game. McDonald County.
Go Stings. And, well, music's here, so it's the end of another episode. Tony, Jensen, Clint, and myself, have a great weekend. Make sure you go get some Ghetto tacos before your game. This weekend, Friday nights, 10% off of your burritos. If you can't get in this weekend, Taco Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday is 1 free drink per entree. Y'all have a great weekend. See y'all next week on the Sports Timeout Podcast.